1. Spider Control Drill. This is an essential drill for controlling the spider guard. I begin in the spider guard with Rafael standing. Both of my feet are on his biceps, and I control both of his sleeves. As my partner moves from side to side, I block his movement by straightening the leg that he moves toward while bending the other. This blocks his body with my leg and is also the proper movement to set up attacks as well. Notice my hip movement and how relaxed my legs are as I slide from side to side. Two, spider armbar. This is my best position for when someone tries to pass my spider guard, and it also needs to be drilled often. Using the same control as the previous drill, Rafael moves to my side. As he does this, his left arm gets exposed. I isolate it by pulling the arm at the elbow as I kick my leg forward. This sends my opponent and his arm forward, directly into the waiting armbar. I swing my right leg over his face and bridge my hips into his elbow to get the submission. I repeat the drill to either side. Three, spider omoplata. In this drill, I use the previous setup to work on the omoplata from the spider guard. Once again, Rafael initiates the drill by walking to my side. My right leg straightens and my left leg bends to set up the grip break. As I break the grip, I swing my hips from left to right and my left knee pushes into the back of Rafael's right elbow. To finish the repetition, I lock the omoplata and grab his belt with my left hand. Then I repeat to either side. Four, spider triangle. This is a great drill for the triangle choke from the spider guard. As in the previous drills, I start by controlling the spider guard and breaking his grip. This time, I place my right leg on top of his hip to elevate my hips for the attack. Then I lift my leg on top of his shoulder and I lock the triangle. I repeat the drill to either side. Five, spinning fundamentals drill. This drill is for recomposing the spider and half guards with inverted spins. I begin the drill with Rafael standing with his legs a little more than shoulder width apart. I sit facing him with my legs around his left leg. I roll onto my right shoulder and I bring my right hand inside of his left leg as I replace my leg between Rafael's. I continue my roll on my left shoulder as I come up to the sitting position of Rafael's left leg. From here, I continue the drill, rolling back and forth or around the world. It is important in this drill to use your arms to help push you through the movement and your legs to alternate positioning. Continue this drill until you can flow through all parts of this technique without thought. Six, inverted guard recovery. Getting inverted is a great way to recover the guard and set up attacks in transition. The key is developing the inverted spin so that you can easily flow with and not against your partner as he attempts to pass. Raphael begins the drill by swimming his arms to the inside of my legs and stepping over me to set up the knee slide pass. As he moves, I roll onto my shoulder and feed my left hand to the inside of his left leg. Then I bring my left leg to his hip, escape my right leg, and I use my hands to help me spin to the spider guard control. Once I have recovered guard, I repeat the drill to the other side. Seven, spin out the back door. This is a great drill to move in and out of with the inverted guard recovery. Sometimes you can create the opportunity to take the back, and this drill is the evidence. I begin the drill the same as the inverted guard recovery, but this time it is even more important that I leave one leg in between my partners. This way, as I spin upside down, I only need to insert the other leg instead of both. Then I pull him forward with both my legs and hands as I sneak to the back. Eight, helicopter to the back. Once you can comfortably execute the previous technique, it is time to move on to the helicopter sweep to the back. To set up the drill, Raphael starts on his knees inside of my spider guard. Initiating the movement, Raphael moves my right leg between his legs to mimic control. Immediately, I follow his movement by diving my right hand into his knee as I roll onto my shoulders to get inverted. Next, I lift Raphael above me and pull him forward with my grips and right leg. Raphael stops the movement by basing on his hands, and I put my feet on the back of his thighs as if I am taking the back. To continue the drill, Raphael turns around and we start again. Nine, helicopter to spinning guard recovery. I'd love to create drills that replicate realistic actions. This is an amazing drill that accurately trains you to attack and defend while your partner utilizes good movement as well. In this situation, as I go for the previous sweep, Raphael correctly kills my hips by moving laterally to his left. If I fail to react, he could smash my hips and I will have to play very defensively. So, as he moves to the side to defuse the sweep and smash my legs, I do not release my grips on his legs. This forces me onto my shoulder, and it actually facilitates my rolling escape. I push off the mat to propel me into an inverted spin to guard recovery. With the guard recovered, I am in position to continue the drill. Spider sweep to the back. This technique is one that I have been recently using to take the back from the spider guard. I begin with Raphael standing in my spider guard. Similarly to the spider sweep, I extend my left foot toward my head to force Raphael to step forward. Then I swing my leg to pendulum my head from the front of Rafael to his back. I don't let go of his grips. Then I insert my right hook behind his right knee and I grab his belt with my right hand. I pull him toward me and I push with my hooks to send him to the mat. As he lands, I control his back and I put my hooks in. "11. Spider sweep to arm drag. This is a position that I learned from Fabio Gurgel, and it is a great combination off of the basic spider guard sweep. He thought I could use this move because I use a lot of spider guard. The idea here is to take my partner off base as I attempt the spider sweep. When Rafael steps his right foot forward to block the sweep, I transition to the arm drag, cupping his left tricep with my left hand. I pull him downward and hip escape to expose his back. I grab his collar and insert my hooks to take advantage of the reversal. "12. Spinning de la spider sweep. Whenever I have control of my opponent's sleeves, as well as an outside hook, I can always use the de la spider to force the sweep. I begin in the spider guard with Rafael in a drop knee position. With his right knee forward, I decide to move to the de la spider guard as I insert my left foot as an outside hook. Then I switch to a cross grip with my right hand as I reach my left hand in front of his right leg to secure it. Continuously, my body follows my left arm as I invert, spinning my head underneath his base. With my body completely underneath Rafael's base, I drive his arm downward while I swing my legs up and down to create momentum for the sweep. With Rafael losing his balance to his right corner, I push my left leg into his knee to buckle his balance and send him to the mat in a fantastic reversal. "13. Standing spider sweep. I love this sweep. It is very important with this sweep that you use his momentum when he defends the original attack. Starting in the spider guard, I try to sweep to the left by steering Rafael to his right. Rafael defends by switching his base as he steps forward with his right leg. At the same time, he can't easily recompose his posture to his left, so I pull him to his forward left, tuck his hands downward, and somersault him for the sweep. "14. Standing spider sweep to tomo nage. This technique is a very important reversal to have in your arsenal because it emphasizes the movement that you will need against an opponent who stands in your spider guard. When my partner stands to defend the spider guard, I extend my left foot to my left corner, pulling him forward. As he steps, I insert my right leg between his, pull my base underneath his, and I place my right hook under his hips. To initiate the sweep, I place my left foot on his hip, lift him, and push his arms toward his body. Immediately, I push my feet toward my head to send his body into a forward somersault. He finishes his front flip, and I ride his momentum, back rolling to the top position. 15. Leg lasso spinning sweep. The leg lasso is one of my favorite positions and was also very popular at Tay-Tay-Day's school at the Tay-Tay Academy. With spider guard control, I loop my right foot around his arm until my foot feeds all the way to his rib cage on the inside of his arm. Next, I push my left leg and arm to the inside while lifting my right leg. Rafael takes the bait and tries to pass, but can't because of my sleeve grip. I continue to slide my body underneath him until he loses his base and has to fall. I follow his movement until I am in the side control position. (16) Spinning sweep to omoplata. This attack is an important variation of the previous technique. It is a strong attack that counters your opponent's natural reaction, therefore it must be added to your guard repertoire. As I attempt the spinning sweep, Rafael reacts by turning into me to recover the top position. When he does this, I pull his arm to open the elbow and I transition to the omoplata. I force his body downward with my legs and I finish the attack. (17) Leg lasso tomo nage. I love to use the tomo nage from many different positions, but I think one of the best ways is using this version of the spider guard. Once I put the hook in, I push into him and frustrate his balance. As he begins to feel uncomfortable, he reacts by standing to avoid the threat. Again, I initiate the attack by pushing into Rafael. As Rafael resists, I bend my legs to bring him on top of me. Immediately, I straighten my legs to elevate his hips and pull him forward to somersault him with the tomo nage sweep. (1) Loose hips drill. This drill is very important for when your partner swims both of his arms to the double underhook control. I set up the drill by controlling his sleeves and keeping my legs loose while Rafael has both of his arms under my legs with belt control. It is crucial that I not allow my partner to easily control my hips. When my partner lifts my hips to pass, I counter by putting my feet on the floor and escaping my hips. Once my shoulder and rear have escaped with the spin, I swing back to continue the drill. (2) Loose hips to spider guard recovery. Continuing from the previous drill, you should always add different elements to diversify the technique. This time, when Rafael forces me to turn from the inside out guard, a small space opens for me to place both feet on top of his biceps. From here, I don't let him recover his arms until I have squared myself to him. Then, I return to the inside out guard, ready to start the drill again. 3. Shoulder shimmy and spider guard recovery. Oftentimes, your opponent will try to lift your hips off the mat to force you to back roll out of position. This is a great defense against that style of passing. In this position, it is very important that I slide my shoulders on the floor and make my legs and hips heavy as Rafael tries to lift me out of the inside-out guard. As he continues to lift, my weight is awkward and my body slips away from him. Afterwards, I use the space from the shoulder shimmy to recompose the spider guard. Finally, I return to the inside-out guard to start the drill again. Four. Pummel to straight arm lock. Though it may seem like arm attacks are too difficult from the inside-out guard, it is actually quite easy to finish an opponent who believes his position is impervious to attack. As with all techniques from the inside-out guard, I start by controlling his sleeves. I must always think of his pass, even while attacking. This time, I want to go for the submission, so I sit up to make space between us and open up a gap on his arms. I pummel my right arm under his left as my left arm collapses over it. Using my legs, I push down while pulling on the arm to pull the arm to the front of my leg. I fall to my back and place my right foot on his hip while my left swings over his head. To finish, I apply downward pressure on his elbow joint to get the straight arm lock submission. Five. Pummel to omoplata. Anytime you attack the arms, you should always remember that the omoplata is very close by. The straight arm lock from the inside-out guard is no different. From the inside-out guard, I pummel my arms to lock the straight arm lock. This time, Rafael defends by bending his elbow to relieve the pressure. This is great for me. I pull my right leg over his shoulder, driving it into his exposed elbow to throw his weight forward. I come up on top and finish the omoplata shoulder lock. Remember, anytime your opponent bends his elbow like this, you can attack the omoplata. Six. Heel in the collar triangle. This is a technique that I recently saw Fabio Gergel doing in class, and I thought it was very creative. In this situation, Rafael is stalling in the inside-out guard, and he is playing so tight that it is hard for me to get anything to work. So I hip escape slightly to make the little space that I can, and I put my right heel in his collar directly behind his head, extending my leg to create space. As he opens up, I circle my left leg to the inside and I release my heel from his collar. Because he was resisting the collar push, he falls into my triangle as I release his collar and finish the submission. This is a great move that makes use of the strongest area of your body to beat a strong staller. Seven. Heel in the collar omoplata. This is a variation of the previous technique that ends in omoplata instead of triangle. When I go for the previous heel in the collar triangle, my partner tries to avoid the submission. However, he cannot do anything about his open elbow, so I switch my attack to the omoplata. As I circle my left leg from the inside-out guard, I slam my leg against his elbow to drive it forward. Then, I lock the omoplata and I grab his belt, ready to finish the submission. 8. Heel in the collar spider guard recovery. This is a great guard recovery to drill from the heel in the collar setup. Sometimes your partner is very strong and good at closing his elbows. This is when I like to do the heel in the collar to spider guard recovery. Beginning in the inside out guard, I put my heel in Rafael's collar and straighten my leg. As I extend my partner away from me with the heel in the collar, I do not feel safe going for the attack quite yet. So I opt to put my feet in his biceps and set up future attacks from the spider guard position. Nine. Pass defense to guard recovery. This is a very simple and effective position that takes advantage of a bridging action to recover the guard. As Rafael passes to my left side with the underhook pass, I have to choose my left shoulder for my rolling escape. I bridge on that shoulder while pushing my right hand on the mat to push my hips high and propel myself over his arm. I roll over Rafael's right arm and return to the guard position. 10. Opening the elbow to guard recovery drill. This is a very important guard recovery skill that also opens up numerous submission possibilities. Drill this one often. From the inside out guard, Rafael tries to lift my left leg and pass my guard. As he lifts, I push with his force to open his elbow while using my loose hips. This gives me the space I need to escape my trapped left leg and return to the spider guard. I return to the inside out guard and I continue the drill. 11. Opening the elbow to triangle. This triangle attack from the previous drill is a simple move that perfectly capitalizes on your opponent's open elbow. Once again, I begin the inside-out guard drill with Rafael trying to pass my guard as I open his elbow and free my left leg. Not being satisfied with the escape, I place my left foot on his hips, elevate my own hips off the mat, and I bring my right leg across his neck. I close the triangle choke, and then I return to the guard to repeat the drill. 12. Spinning armbar variation. Sometimes your opponent is so aggressive that he really throws your leg as he tries to escape. This turns your hips and makes the angle to get the triangle less than optimal. This is the perfect time to try this technique. From the inside out guard, Rafael tries to pass aggressively and I defend by opening his elbow. With his arm far and hips at the wrong angle, I cannot attack the triangle choke. Instead, I grab his right arm with my left as I drive my left shin across his face and neck. To finish the face-down armbar, I face his legs to create the proper angle while hyperextending his elbow. If Rafael manages to roll, he will land in the armbar from the bottom position. 13. Armless sweep to crucifix. This is an awesome technique for getting the crucifix when your opponent tries to pass the inside-out guard. As Rafael tries to pass the inside-out guard, I escape my hips as he forces the turn. At that same time, I bring my right shin on top of his neck while maintaining control of his left wrist. This drives him downward, and I roll to a face-down position as if I were attempting a face-down armbar. This rolling puts too much pressure on the top of his shoulder, and it gives me the time to escape my left leg, trap his left arm, and control his head and right arm in the crucifix. Armless sweep to the reverse omoplata. This move is like magic. It is a continuation off of the previous technique that flows perfectly into the reverse omoplata. Beginning in the inside-out guard, I defend Rafael's pass attempt by executing the armless sweep to crucifix. From the crucifix, I trap his left arm with my right leg in the omoplata position, and I roll toward his head. This forces his arm to bend as it follows my body and sweeps him to the bottom. I come up on top, and I use my legs to finish the reverse omoplata. Armless triangle. This is a very sneaky submission that is capable of catching anyone off guard. From the inside-out guard, I grab a cross-collar grip on Rafael with my right hand. I bring my right leg on top of his neck, and I grab my shin to prevent him from escaping back. Then I lock the triangle, closing the pit of my left knee over my right ankle. To finish, my left hand grabs across to my right leg, and I pull down while squeezing my knees together. Rafael is choked by my legs and right arm as they pressure his carotid arteries. Inside-out shoulder lock. There are many older techniques that work perfectly from newer guards, and this is one of them. The shoulder lock can bite even the best players if they aren't aware. Beginning in the inside-out guard, I have control of Rafael's sleeves as he holds onto my belt. Before I attack, I need space. I shimmy my shoulders and hip back to create a little working room. This is all I need to attack. I feed my left leg across Rafael's abdomen until my foot can hook on his left hip. As I do this, I bring my right foot to the mat to push my hips toward his arm. This gives me a better angle to straighten my left leg and torque the surprising shoulder lock on Rafael's left arm. Because I have glued his right arm to my hip, the straightening action of my leg twists his arm to the inside for the painful submission. Inside-out shoulder to the back. This is a great contingency if your opponent is tough or strong enough to withstand the pressure of the previous shoulder lock. From the inside-out guard, I transition to the shoulder lock, but Rafael is resisting with all his might. Instead of insisting on the lock, I change my attack. I use my left foot to push Rafael's right knee open. Immediately, I swing my right leg over his body and insert a hook inside of his right thigh. From here, I release his right sleeve grip and grab a palm down grip on his belt. I pull down on the belt to keep Rafael's posture low. Finally, I swing my left leg over his body while pulling myself with the belt grip to take his back. 18. Andre Galvao back transition. This is a creative technique that Andre Galvao used when we trained together at TT. I begin in the inside-out guard with Rafael controlling my belt while I have a cross lapel and sleeve grip. First off, I hip escape to create some working space, and then I sit up and grab his belt with my left hand. Next, I push his hips with my feet to flatten his posture toward the mat. As I do this, I switch my left hand grip so that it is palm up with the outside of my elbow pointing upward. This is very important. Then I pull my right leg over the back of Rafael's neck, pushing it downward. I am ready for the reversal. I put my right hand on the mat and push off with my left foot as I pivot with my right leg to bring myself to his back. Because my grip was correct, I can easily pull myself into the perfect back positioning.
For the semifinal in the brown belt adult heavyweight division, Emil Pereira, and Dan Simler, please come to the weigh-in table.
You have your attention, please. Now you're calling adult, feather, black. Robson Mona, Robson Mona. Yoshioka, Yoshioka. Tomoya Yanagisawa, Tomoya Yanagisawa. Renato Teixeira, Renato Teixeira. All of you guys to the podium, please. Come receive your medals. Podium, please.
In the adults, brown belt, super heavy category, Ricardo Feliciano, Chris Page, come to the weigh-in table, please. Gracie to the weigh-in table, please. Clark Gracie to the weigh-in table immediately, please. Brown belt division, adult, middleweight, Frost Murphy, Atalio Sousa, Otazio Sosa, Lucas Barón, Wagner Rocha.
Robson Mona, let's go for Robson Mona. Let's go for Dai Yoshioka. Let's go for Dai Yoshioka. Let's go for Tomoya Yanagisawa. Let's go. We need you guys to the podium, please. To the podium. Last call for Ricardo Feliciano from Brasa. Last call, Ricardo Feliciano from Brasa. Clark Gracie, BJJ Revolution team immediately to the weigh-in. We're now calling it down. Medium heavy, black, Romulo Barral. Francis Carvalho. Marcelo Lousado, João Oliveira, to the podium, please, to the podium. Last call for Romulo Barral. Last call for Tarsis Carvalho. Last call for Tarsis Carvalho. Last call for Marcel Lousado. Last call for Marcel Lousado. Also last call for João Oliveira. Last call for João Oliveira to the podium, please. I need all of you guys to come to receive your medals. Podium, please. Daniel Correa to the weighing area, please. Eric Da Silva to the weighing area, please. Chris Page to the weighing area, please. Luis Tosta to the weighing area, please. Joseph Manuel to the weighing area, please. Fabio Almeida. Luis Tosta to the weighing area, please. Joseph Manuel.
Number 4, please. Johnny Ramirez, Felipe Lapani, 5-6,
Aê, Jovan, boa! Aê, Jovan!
Gustavo Ramos, Daniel Tavares, seat number 3, please. Ladies and gentlemen, on mat number 4, the winner, Cobrinha!
Olsen, last call to the medal podium. Casey Olsen.
Boa, Mike! Só se arma agora, Mike, só se arma. Foi uma vantagem pra ele, Mike. Foi uma vantagem pra ele, Mike. Se ele for pra lá, ele vai cair na sua, ó. Deixa ele te atacar, a hora que ele te atacar, você raspa. Se começar a ir no teu braço, se eu querer passar, você raspa ele, mano. Aquele trabalho do pé. É o trabalho do pé, ó. Deixa ele se enrolar, Mike. Joga no erro dele. Tem o pé, Mike. Não perde esse pé. Não perde esse pé, Mike. Boa! Garra na calça dele. Desequilibra ele com as suas pernas. Joga ele para um lado e para o outro com as suas pernas.
Please report to the middle podium. Marcelo Geller.
Se ele vir para esse lado, as costas dele, hein? Mantenha a mão na esgrima.
P1 Cambridge. Please report to the middle podium. P1 Cambridge.
Agora vai. Manchar o desequilíbrio, Mike. A mão dele lá, ó. Tem que achar a mão. Calma que ela vem. Uma hora a mão vai ter que vir. Ele vai ter que estourar a pegada, vai ter que usar a mão, Mike. Você é pedra cruzada, Mike.
Mike Buckles, please begin.
Tomou outra vantagem, Mike. Tá 2-0 para ele nas vantagens. Tem 3,5. O rosto tem que ganhar a esgrima, Mike. Mão na esgrima, isso. Olha a boca da calça, juiz.
Chris Charles. Please report to the middle podium. Chris Charles. Carlo Jr. and Daniel Thomas, please report to the middle podium. Milton Del Carlo Jr. and Daniel
Vai se
Thomas.
arrumando. Atenção pra você não raspa com o cotovelo preso não, que ele vai querer dar triângulo. Foram 4, joga ele pra cá, ó. Joga ele pra cá. Pra cá, não vai pra lá não. Vai entrar a mão pra dentro e raspa no final. Vai cair no triângulo, raspa no final. Tem 5 minutos agora. Fica mais 4 aí. Isso. Esconde a mão. Metade da luta, Mike. Vamos ganhando aos posição aos poucos. Isso. Tá chegando no nosso tempo, Mike. Daqui a pouco chega.
Brandon Mullins from Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, seed number 6. Renan Monges from Brazilian Jiu
5,5, Mike, tá quase. Aguenta aí. Só deixa a mão pra dentro, faz a pegada, ó. Entra embaixo, não deixa ele se arrumar, se afastar.
Milton Del Carlo Jr. and Daniel Thomas, please report to the middle podium. Daniel Thomas and Milton Del Carlo Jr.
Faltam 4, Mike. Vai a esgrima de novo. Mike! Se livra essa lapela aí, Mike! Tira a cabeça daí, cara!
Atenção, atenção, por favor. Abertura, banquinho. Abertura, banquinho. A mesa, por favor.
Vai, Mike! Tô indo pra 7 minutos! Levanta a cabeça dele e bota tua cabeça no chão, Mike! Desenrola teu pescoço! Desenrola teu pescoço! Ó a boca da calça de novo, juiz! Toda hora, juizão! Não tem punição, não? E 3 minutos, Mike! Pra raspar e cair no triângulo, espera mais! Cuidado com o braço, Mike! Nada, foi nada! Foi nada! Prende a mão, Mike! Olha o bom! Bora, Mike, vamos sair daí, moleque! Mike! Mike! Cuidado, Mike! Ganha a bola, vem pra cima, Mike! Tem que chegar a mão na bola, Mike!
Milton Del Carlo Jr., please report to the middle podium. Milton Del Carlo Jr.
Bora, Mike, vamos subir! Fica de joelho, moleque! Tira a cabeça!